Here again with Mr. Dixon. Simeon, hello.
Hi there.
And we're going to look at this Twitter thread, and it shows you everything. It shows you that men are willing, women expect everything from a guy, but really it just means they don't want to be with men, right? Like Simeon, if
Yeah,
women wanted,
exactly.
yeah, exactly. If women wanted to be with men, they would need a long laundry list. They would just say, "Yeah, I'm glad. Let's meet you." So I'll let you want me to read it or me read it?
You can read it.
Okay, so
And
this is
also,
yeah, Mead eight.
let me give,
Go ahead. Sorry.
sorry. Okay. So I just wanted to give a little background on this account.
Yeah,
This account here is known for responding to incels and like people who like believe in the black pill. And this is what this woman thinks that actually hinders men from dating. And as you see, it's a very long laundry list of requirements that not only she, but a lot of women seem to have.
yeah,
And a lot of people tell men to do in general.
yeah,
Because a lot of these points you have seen before,
yeah.
I've seen
Exactly.
before.
Exactly. Well, the thing is, if she's actually going after you, so what she's doing is she's just finding men to bully. She's abusing you, right? So she said that
Yeah.
things that hinder guys getting initial interest from women in general, from what I've seen in studies and articles being in the world. Okay, let's see what she has to say. Let's see. Bad dress sense. I think most guys think they dress fine, but many don't. Having a bad dress sense shows that you don't really care about how you come off. This includes clothes that are too big, small, clothes that aren't right for your age, boring, super cheap clothes. I've seen women go to the grocery store in pajama bottoms, and that does not preclude men from hitting on them. Because men want to be with women. We're going to just be repeating the same thing over and over. This is our mantra. Men want to be with women. Women don't want to be with men. Right. So, I mean, that's what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know,
And
yeah, go ahead, Dixon. Yeah.
a lot of this has to do with status as well. Like, especially this last part, boring, super cheap
Yeah.
clothes. Like,
Yeah. Exactly. You can actually dress very nicely in cheap clothes. You still look great. So, like you say, they want men in expensive outfits to say, "Here I am. I got money."
and yeah, this whole point, like as you said earlier, and also want to respond to this point, like a lot of women who are even think closer to your age, like they like go out in like pajama pants and stuff, or they would go out and literally. This is closer to my age group though. Like they literally go in leggings that pretty much see through and clothes that aren't even actual clothes.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Well, also, um, she's also projecting when it comes to clothes that aren't right for your age. Guys dress right for their age. Usually, they're dressed very simply, which is uniform throughout age. Jeans and let's say a t-shirt, maybe a hoodie. That's just age neutral. It's these
Yeah,
women that dress
exactly.
overly young when they're getting older. So that's projection. Now, bad hair, wrong cut, shape, style. Notice she didn't say their hair's a mess or it's unwashed. She's talking about being stylish. Hair that's seen as greasy, too dry, badly combed, too wild. Buzz cuts. See what's wrong with buzz cuts, right? Bowl cuts, weird bangs, fringes, sideburns. Oh, really? So what's wrong with sideburns? That's for professional opinion for good stylists, not an old man barber. Shitting on barbers, right? This is nonsense. I mean, if you go outside and the wind blows your hairs around, that's not much you can do about it. Again, this is nonsense. A buzz cut, especially so she's just saying have an expensive hairstyle. So again, we're just looking at saying have money, right? And this person,
Exactly.
look at the hair in this person's icon. There's nothing special going on with her hair. Matter of fact, if I were you, lady, I'd get like an actual jaw. This is a jawless person. Okay, what's number three?
Like another,
Oh yeah,
I wanted to say that like hair products can be expensive. Like I've seen this a lot. Like people will shit on men for like using like 2-in-1, 3-in-1 like body wash,
oh yeah,
like shampoo and conditioner.
oh yeah,
Like people use that because it's cheap. Because like a lot of these like specialty like hair products add up and are expensive, and this you'll see a pattern of this. A lot of this just goes right back to status, like economic status. Like,
yeah, exactly.
and as you go through the thread, it becomes really apparent. Anyway, on to number three.
Yeah. Oh, just back up to number two. Was just something I wanted to say about it too. I'm trying to remember what it is. Good style. No, go on. I forgot it. So go on to number three. Oh, yeah. That's what I want to say. Most guys don't like, um, they don't like pink hair. And yet women will dye their hair knowing that guys aren't into that. Okay. So number three, being out of shape. This doesn't mean a guy has to have a six pack and be ripped, but being very heavy or too thin really can go against the guy. Sometimes there's much you can do, but do work out, eat healthy, and try to get just a normal weight for your height. Lady, the world is full of fatsos, gross fatsos with boyfriends. So you know,
Like,
see this fat shaming bullshit. It comes, all it means is don't tell women what to do. Women can put on
exactly.
100 extra pounds. The guy can't get himself. Screw this. This woman, by the way, she would jump on any of these famous guys with the extra 50 pounds. Leonardo DiCaprio, they made fun of him about gaining weight, but because he's chunky now, he's an older man, but he's got all kinds of young hotties on him. So that's just meaningless. This woman will jump on a high status man, no matter how fat he is. Okay.
Exactly. And I just want to point out most of the Western, not even just Western, but a lot of the world is overweight nowadays. Like a large majority of the US, Canada, like a lot of Europe,
Oh yeah.
especially other countries like Mexico, Latin America,
Yeah.
there's some like a lot of the Pacific Islands. So much of the world is considered overweight.
Oh yeah.
Like this goes this all goes back to status. Like this lifestyle these people like try to show, especially these like red pill people. Not saying this lady is a red pillar, but these like red pill pickup people who like tell men to like go on these like weird diets and start like bodybuilding. Like I know a guy who like does like bodybuilding, goes to the gym, like working out and all that. Like they really go on like these like weird like specific diets
Yeah.
that take like a lot of dedication and or money, and they end up like taking a lot of supplements, and like it's it's a lot of effort to like keep a fucking quote unquote healthy appearance by standards. And even going to the too thin part, like
Yeah.
nobody will give a woman shit for being too thin.
Hmm.
Like there are some people out there who will say stuff about overweight women, but for the most part, women like people, especially men, will date a woman no matter their body type for the
Yeah.
most part.
Oh, by the way, the too thin
This
part is very telling because the guy who's naturally thin, uh, he might be living a perfectly good lifestyle. It's just his natural thinness, right? So he could be eating healthy, and he could take stairs two at a time, all that, but it's basically he just has a bad physique, which is out of his hands, right? So it's just another like, well, this woman speaking, she just doesn't like men. If you have to have a laundry list this long, you just don't want to be with them. Period. You know.
exactly.
Okay, bad skin. Again, really unfortunate. So many suffer from this, men and women, but it's worth trying your best to overcome with good diet, good skincare, and maybe medication. Oh,
A lot of
I've got
this is
oily skin.
genetic.
I'm an old man. I still get acne. So I don't care. I mean, I don't like the look of it, but
Yeah, a
again,
lot of this is just
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
A lot of this is just plain genetics.
Oh yeah,
Like I've been trying to do like a skincare routine for the past few months now, and I still get a lot of blemishes. Like, sure, this stuff can help. A lot of this stuff is genetic and out of one's control.
oh yeah, exactly. That's right. This is a
And
long
well,
list. Like this is number four. Hey, just as a spoiler, how many's on our list anyway? Do you know? Can you?
I think I lost count at 17.
Oh my
There's
God.
at least 17.
Okay. Okay. I didn't realize that. Next one, carry on.
Teeth.
Teeth.
A
Okay.
weird one.
Weird one, but that is noticeable. If you have stains on your teeth, get them cleaned or whitened. Okay. Consider straightening your teeth if they're crooked. You can also get veneers. Don't worry if they're not perfect, though. Lady, you're asking the perfect because you actually get work done. I don't have perfect teeth. There's no way I'm spending thousands of dollars to straighten a tooth, a single crooked tooth. No way. My teeth are fine. That's just more money. Look, all you guys listening, you're better off just getting a high paid job. Then all these things she's talking about would disappear. Just drive up on your Maserati in your tailored suit and say, look, I've got lots of money. Get together with me. Let's go to a trip to Venice. Right.
Yeah, this can also be genetic as well.
Well, it
Most of
usually
it
is
is
genetic, you know. Like as for stains, I mean, what can I say? You can brush your teeth, you know.
yeah, like good dental hygiene is part of it, but a lot of it is also genetics and just how like your family's history of like dental health.
Yeah. Okay. Now this is fun. Facial expression. This one is super common. A lot of people have resting bitch face. Okay, I'm having a hard time understanding that. Accidental creepy smile, wide-eyed scare face, intense angry face. Take a video of yourself taking normal, see how you look. Aim for a relaxed expression. Smile with your eyes too. Fuck you, lady. You know what this reminds me of? I remember when I was at work, this young fellow who was from, I can't tell if he was Pakistan or Indian, but I know what she means by intense angry face. He had this like that kind of mean looking expression. And as soon as he walked up to me, he said, "Oh, hey, sir, blah, blah, blah." He was very, very timid person. It's like, I thought it was odd, but I'm not going to give a guy a hard time for that.
Exactly.
Accidental, creepy smile. It's like, screw this woman. Screw this woman. Next.
Like a lot of
Yeah.
like this is where a lot of incels and like black pill people will point to like lookism
Yeah.
because sometimes unattractive faces can just come off. Like imagine a super good looking dude. like their facial expressions, no matter what, will be like considered with less scrutiny than with a less attractive dude. And still,
none of
you
that
can't
matters.
really
Look,
control.
if you get a good-looking enough woman, she can be crying and guys will like her. She could be giving an angry face, guys will still be turned on. This woman's just making shit up at this point, right? She's making shit up.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of people can't help their facial expressions. Like, this is a so unreasonable task to do. Like, you're asking people to overthink. No, you're asking men to overthink their every single facial expression.
Yeah, this woman's a troll. This woman loves trolling incels. That's what's going on.
Oh shit.
Voice, volume, and tone. Many guys don't realize they speak in a way that's difficult to keep listening to. Lack of inflection, tonality, speed, and pitch can make it hard to keep wanting to talk to someone. Aim for a low and good vocal expression in a medium volume. Fuck this bitch, because I've run into so many loud women. It's with high pitched screeching voices. Screw this. I'm not even going to talk about this any further.
I have a personal story about this.
Sure.
I was in a weird, I guess, relationship, even though it wasn't an officially romantic relationship with this one girl. She tried changing a bunch of stuff about me. Like, she tried getting me to dress differently. Like, this is a bit off topic. Well, it is kind of off topic. It goes back to the dressing part. We were hanging out once, and she legit told me that she didn't like my outfit, that was low effort, and made me change.
You got to work for her, man. That's the one thing that goes unsaid, is that women see men as people who has to be working constantly. Even in your downtime, you got to be working.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
And
it's just resentment and viciousness. You know, everything has to be an effort to put in. The only time you can really relax if you're just not with a woman. Period. That's it.
Yeah, and I was going to say that a part of this is she wanted me to try to make my voice deeper as well.
Your voice is already deep anyway. At worst, it's a little nasally at times, but I mean, you've got a masculine voice, so what can I say?
Oh, it's also a bit like high for my age,
I suppose. I guess.
Okay,
The
on to number 8.
Skills. Just because a guy can talk doesn't mean he's good at conversations. Conversation is an art form. You want to speak as if you believe that what you're saying is interesting. This is projection. Because women have the most inane, boring conversations you could possibly have. Okay. Ask questions with genuine curiosity. This woman's projecting again. It's like, yeah, lady, guys aren't usually interested in your boring shit. That's true. But they want your attention. They want they're willing to put up, guys are willing to put up with boring conversations to have women around, right? And she's basically saying she doesn't let, women aren't willing to do the same for men, right? Look, repeat back in a different way to show listening. Yeah, you got to make sure you're paying attention to me, right? You're not a human being. You're a mirror that's reflecting my narcissism back. Okay. What was the next one? Okay.
Also,
oh yeah,
I was going to say that
I see this
for
okay, and do not talk for an sorry. So go ahead.
Well, I'll let you finish this section first.
And do not talk for an extended time at once. Really? One of the worst things you can do is talk in paragraphs and not let someone else have a word in. So if you want a long, deep conversation where someone else, in other words, his job is to listen to her and not the other way around. That's what you're saying. She's, I'm not here to listen to anything you have to say. because you in this conversation we're having, you told a story about yourself. Now, I mean, that's the way conversations go. So, in other words, this woman is telling guys, you're here to listen to us. We don't want to hear you. Right. Okay.
Well, about this point, I've been in situations where this has exactly happened, but with the woman.
Oh, yeah.
Not that I mind, of course, because I'm more of a listener anyway. But this has happened so many times with women I've talked to.
Oh, yeah. They're really talking to you. You're just there to listen. That's why I think that's why women like dogs. A woman should just get herself a dog. You can talk to a dog for hours, and the dog would just kind of turn his head back and forth and say, "Okay, you're talking. I'm listening." Same thing. You don't need a man.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
And I want to make a point that for a lot of men, especially men who are like neurodivergent, like men who are like autistic or have like ADHD or whatever other mental, I don't want to say disorder, well, whatever, disorder, illness, whatever, that makes
Mental
like social
handicap. We can just call it a handicap.
Yeah, a handicap. Like a lot of men who have those struggle with conversation. Like I do. Like I'm living proof of this. Like,
oh yeah.
So for like a lot of men out there, an increasing amount of men as well, because the rates of these mental handicaps are growing among younger generations. Like conversation skills are just kind of handicapped. You have to repeat myself.
Well, you know something like it might be from families growing very small because I have 8 brothers and sisters, so there's always this like continual back and forth with people that I think a lot of guys suffer from isolation now. I think that's a big effect, you know.
Isolation can like play a big part of it.
Oh yeah. All right, next. Okay. Lack of humor. Oh my gosh. Now this is pot calling the kettle black. Many guys take themselves and other too seriously. Lack of humor is a big turnoff. This includes having light conversations, laughing, banter. Nearly every conversation should have a bit of humor and fun in it. It doesn't mean to be a comedian. In other words, don't be too serious, man. I'm here to have fun. Also, this woman doesn't have any depth to her. She's a representative of a lot of women. They have no depth. They're not interested in deep conversations. They just want a lighthearted back and forth, right? And also, you're not entertaining. That's another thing when she says humor, because women have shit sense of humor, if they have one at all, you know. So that's what I got to say about that one.
Exactly. Like I keep using exactly a lot, but
hey, same here. Do it all the time.
But yeah, like with humor, well, humor is subjective. Like, of course, there's like things that the majority of people find funny, but there could be things that one person can find funny, but another person cannot. For example,
yeah. Well,
and there's just some people who are just naturally serious as well.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And this is also a trait of like neurodivergent men, like not really having a good sense of humor, like not being able to tell when
some guys are naturally stoic, and some guys are taciturn and dour. It's not a mental deficiency at all. It's just a personality. Okay.
Yeah. I know. I wasn't saying that lack of humor in itself is a mental deficiency. I'm just saying that a lot of neurodivergent men have like difficulties getting jokes, and stuff like that.
Yeah, but this is really neither here nor there anyway, because she finds one of these stoic guys that make all kinds of money, and they're not interested in talking, she'd love that. I mean, what's the point of having humor if she doesn't want you talking anyway? She just actually said, you just shut up and listen to me. So you don't need to have a sense of humor. Okay, here's the big one. Confidence. Well, that's straight out of a pickup artist. You've heard it before. This doesn't mean being arrogant or extroverted at all. Geez, confidence, but not extroverted. Confidence is being a bit sure of yourself, feeling like you have something to say, a sense of self-worth, not being shaky, acting like a puppy. Okay, don't be like a woman, in other words. What's that say? You get the like in the word. Get your hand off the like. Move your finger. Thank you. You can still be introverted. Oh my God, she is trolling. So you can be introverted, but you also have to be have some banter and humor, and you're also not allowed to speak in long sentences or paragraphs. Again, this is the old cart before the horse business. Confidence doesn't get the girl. Getting the girl gives the confidence. This woman doesn't give a shit about confidence anyway. I saw one of those, grifter channels that used male celebrities as examples. And there was this group of handsome young guys that were celebrities. And one was very quiet, came off shy. And all the girls said, oh, he's so shy. He's so sexy. You know what I mean? So this is more horseshit. I see it has two comments to it. Not that I want to look at them, but really these incels should just be telling this woman to screw off. Go find something for yourself to do.
And all I'm going to say about this point is that confidence comes from, in my opinion, confidence, as you said, getting the girl gives confidence.
Yeah.
In more totality, having positive experiences gives confidence. Like if you've been told you're good at something a bunch of times, naturally you'll get confident at it.
Yeah.
But if you've been told you suck at something a bunch of times, you'll start to doubt yourself.
Yeah. Or well, it's not just doubt yourself. It may be true, and you say, okay, there's no point in me getting into a race and losing every time. It's that simple. People want to win. Okay, what's the next
one?
And
people treat confidence as something it can just decide, hey, I'm going to be confident, when it's more complicated than that.
Oh, here's another thing too, Simeon. That you can be confident and she can just turn around and call it arrogance and cockiness. So it's a dead end because there's arrogance. Being too sure of yourself and your own abilities.
Yep.
There you go. So this isn't a tightrope. This is a Kafka trap here, right? And look, what she's talking about includes your personal philosophy and your opinions on a topic. In other words, she gives her opinion and you mansplain her. In other words, you set her right. That's going to piss her off. That's what that's going on. Or if you stick strong to your opinion and say, no, lady, you're just wrong about this, she won't like that. Okay. Number 12.
The line between confidence and arrogance is literally just how much she likes you.
Yes, exactly.
If she dislikes you,
exactly.
she'll just write you off as arrogant.
Yeah.
If she likes you, she'll call it confidence.
Exactly. You're learning, man. We're teaching. We're teaching as we speak. Close-mindedness, lack of various interests. Oh my God. Women should shut their mouths about lack of various interests. Women have the same set of interest, through the whole gender. The guy seems to have one or two things he knows about. It's a turnoff. In other words, the guy's really interested in something and he focuses on it, right? That's what happens. It's boring to talk about the same things forever. You don't have to be a jack of all trades. Just don't literally obsess with two things only. Here's something, Simeon. A lot of times guys what do they say about achieving success? You focus on one or two things relentlessly for years, and you get great at it. So this woman, when she gets together with a guy of success, most likely he will have a fairly narrow interest. But also, a lot of guys do have a lot of interest. It's just that she doesn't share those interests, right? So that's the thing that she's leaving out.
I'm not sure. Oh, and she adds more to this.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. She does. To add to that, oh, sorry, I did my own noise. Here, get rid of that. To add to this, if a guy's only interests are super niche or more stereotypical, there you are, stereotypically male, it's going to be a lot harder to date. It's with a girl who likes those things. Broadening interest creates more opportunities to connect. So these women will actually be the first ones to say they don't like an effeminate man, but they're demanding a typically masculine man doesn't have typically a masculine taste. It's just a Kafka trap. It's a waste of time. This woman's a waste of time. I wish guys were just telling her to screw off. I think I've looked at a couple of their replies, and they were just explaining to her. I felt like saying, dudes, look, she's just harassing you. Just tell her to screw off. If I was an incel, I'd just be blocking this woman. Period.
I just want to add to the point you said about feminine interest, because over the years and even now, I've always had interests that have been more associated with like femininity. Like growing up when I was like 13, 8th grade, I was really into like fucking One Direction.
Oh yeah.
like I was always like into like stuff like fan fiction and like romance novels and stuff like that.
Yeah. Very typical feminine taste. Yeah. And did it work?
Yeah. Not really. Like,
no, of course not.
I've made like it's been good for like connecting with women as friends.
Yes, exactly.
Romantically, not very much.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these women will typically go for the exact type of interest that she says makes it harder for men to date. Like,
yeah, exactly. Okay, what's the next one? 13. Oh my God, she's got a big laundry list. My shopping list is shorter than this. Extreme shyness. Oh, great. Literally being allergic to people. Unless a guy finds a girl who hates people too, this makes dating hard. Okay. I don't know if there's anything to say about this exactly.
all I'm gonna say is that a lot of the time, extreme shyness. I keep bringing up neurotypical men, neurodivergent men a lot.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to include them. But extreme shyness is either like a symptom of being neurodivergent or trauma that has occurred in a lot of lives of men.
Yeah, exactly. And also shy girls. People love shy girls. It doesn't stop them from
Exactly.
being a guy.
I think we talked about this earlier in our Solar Sands response.
Yeah.
About like shy and reclusive men, even little boys, are treated more harshly than women. Like,
yeah,
in like school system, like boys who like try to keep to themselves and are like shy or loners literally get stereotyped as school shooters.
Yes, exactly. What they really mean when they say school shooter, in other words, get in line. You've got this straight jacket, this small box that you're supposed to behave. Get into it, or we're going to smear you. We're going to demonize you. Okay, that's next. 14, lack of interest in a career. Aha! In other words, you got to make money.
Yep, you got.
If a guy has no career or future goals, in other words, gain status at all, spends his days working in some local job. Notice she didn't say he was jobless. just that he's working at a local job. He hates and plays video games. In other words, enjoys himself. This won't inspire most girls. It's not about inspiring you, medhead. It's about living a normal life. And you're supposed to like the man for who he is, right? But if he's interested in some career or job, that changes things. So gain status, right? All you guys listening, do you see what we're pointing out? This girl wants a man who makes money. She's not interested in the man as a person. I hope you guys are taking notes, okay? Just screen save this woman's laundry list. He has never been abroad or traveled. That's more status, Simeon, isn't it?
Yep. I knew this was coming up.
Yeah. Well, you take it.
Yeah.
You know yourself. The last video I just did before this one is, of course, this woman who wrote the book. What is it? Eat, Pray, Love. And that's what she did. She traveled. She had the money that she could get up and travel. Traveling is something that only people with money can really do to any certain degree. Because you have to, it's not just the plane ticket, but you got to have money to stay, money to move around in the country you're in. It means buying stuff, continually buying stuff. It means food. It just means you have to have money, right? But if he had the opportunity, isn't interested, this can make him seem less interesting, less capable. Less capable of what? Less capable of making money for her. You know? This is
like a lot of women will talk about wanting to be like flown out. Like I've seen posts about women being like flown out by men and stuff all the time to all these places.
Yeah.
So going back to 14 here, I've literally known someone who said that they didn't want to work. Like they want to be a housewife. Like imagine
I'm glad you brought that up, because these women talk about jobs. These women talk about being a leech and not having to work for a living. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, so guys take it. They'll say, "Oh, I just want you. You're going to be around. That's good. I'll pay for you." You know.
Like just imagine a man wanting to be like a house husband or even being a stay-at-home dad and raising the kids. They'll get mocked. Personally, like this is just a personal opinion. I don't really care if women want to be housewives or not. I just don't like the hypocrisy when men are treated badly for wanting the same thing.
Well, actually, I do mind housewives. It's like, get a job. You're not a partner if you're a housewife. You're just leeching off a man. So, oh my God,
It's team.
He has nothing going on, and he doesn't have any dreams, goals. That's more money making. That's what you mean. Future plans. He's not happy with his life, but he's not interested in changing anything. He doesn't really go out or do anything. He doesn't go to gigs, museums, show, camping, hiking, etc.
AKA don't have depression.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with hiking, though, a lot of women I know are just vegetables. They like sit around. So I mean that should be off the list anyway. And look, and this woman, by the way, like I said, these women who travel, they don't immerse themselves in the culture. They just go places and eat and buy. Right. And the same thing with this with museums. I bet when these women probably go to museums, they don't learn anything. They're not interested in history. Everything she's talking about is status driven, right?
Exactly. And I've known so many women from my attempts at dating and just talking to people in general that don't have all these fucking hobbies that everyone from like just normal people to like red pillars and pickup people I'm not sure if she's a feminist, but even like feminists and shit, like pretty much everyone says that men must have to date. Like
Yeah.
everyone will say that men need like a whole bunch of hobbies. A lot of them super fucking expensive to be considered this like complete person, when women don't really do shit but like stay at home and like watch Netflix or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Well, also the goals and dreams might not include her, right? He might have a dream of, let's say, yeah, I want to see the lions in Africa up close in real life, or I might want to travel to Alaska during the deepest winter. Would she be interested in any of those goals and dreams? Or maybe his future plans is to open a restaurant in a third world country. Do you think she's going to fly to a third world country to live with this guy? Because that's his dream. That's his goal, man. Exactly. I say 17. Oh, man, it's more than 17. Okay. Bland. Being in bland is not basically not having much of a personality. Nothing to say here. You either have that or you don't. It's that simple. Nothing to say.
And this is just dependent on the person.
Yeah.
Like again, I've seen women, a lot of women who completely fit this definition of being bland
Yeah.
of what she's saying, and they've had no problem dating.
Of course. Of course. Again, because we'll repeat it over and over again. Men want women around. You don't need any list. You just have to be there. She has a list because women don't want to be with men. Right, exactly. Personality, I don't have much interest, yeah, etc., etc.
I think this is the last one.
Okay.
But
And while height can make dating harder, it's not actually the death knell dating apps make it out to be. I agree, because a high status short man can get a woman. Height can is compensated for by men. It's not as easy. It's tricky, and there'll be a woman who just won't date shorter men, but it's not the end of the world. I don't know what she's talking about. If there's women who just won't date shorter men, and you're a shorter man, then it is the end of the world for you, or at least end of your dating. I remember, I know this is separate, but there was what was it? Something on YouTube where it showed guys, they were lining them up and they were short. One guy was my height, he's 5'6", and he had to have this great big laundry list, like this woman said, to get a date. One guy was I think he's 5'1" or 2. I think he was 5'1". No matter how much they bragged him up, no woman wanted to touch him. He was just too short. So what's he going to do, right? If your height maxes out at 5'1", like that guy, extremely short, then you're basically saying I can't date unless you date midgets, right? No, seriously, you would have to, and even with women, they might just say sorry. 6 feet is what women want in a man. I don't care if I am a dwarf or a midget. That's what I demand.
this is where a lot of like the black pill people come in, because what you described happens a lot.
Yeah.
And there's this gaslight where men will end up stretching the truth about their height a little bit.
Yeah.
And when women find out that they're not exactly the height they say they are, they will just dump the man and say, oh, it's because he lied, not because of his height.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's love for you. That's unconditional love. Be height. That's why guys should turn around and said, well, if you want a man who's 6'1", I want you to be a C cup or bigger. That's what men should just be saying to that. But at the same time, I just want to add too that you have to be very short for status not to overcome. You have to be very short because I mean, look how tall is like Al Pacino, who's 80 years old. He's 80 years old. I don't think he's not 6 feet, and he's got this hot woman on him, right? He's got a hot girlfriend, and he's 80. So what you can compensate for average height with status for sure, right?
Yeah.
Well, what were you going to say, Simeon?
I was about to say height is one of the main things, not only women, but just society in general will shit on men about.
Oh yeah.
It's either height or dick size that they will go after.
Well, the thing is, dick size. It's not that that's all that obvious. I mean, you would have to turn around with a megaphone and tell people how big you are that way. I'd say height.
Like, I'm just saying, like, people will immediately, like, if a short guy gets mad, a lot of people will be like, oh, Napoleon complex.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or in a lot of like online arguments against men, like a lot of the first insults a woman will use will be like, "Oh, you have a small dick." Like,
yeah, well, that has nothing to do with your actual size. That has nothing to do with that at all.
true,
They're going to call
but
you.
still,
They're
like,
going to say you got a small dick no matter, as soon as you piss them off. So it doesn't matter how hung you are. But I mean, you're talking about height. It's like uh, that's what they noticed. They took notice about height in men who were CEOs. Like they said that the average height is the average guy, or I should say it's something like if you're above 6'2", it only represents like 10% of the male population or something like that. But it jumps to 50% when you look at CEOs. In other words, high up on the end. So a lot of guys, their promotion also height is one of the factors. So you're right that it does affect everybody, you know.
I just wanted to make the general point about body shaming be for men being just normalized. Like, men are body shamed on shit they can't change.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And yet these ladies, lazy, uh, you know, women let themselves grow incredibly fat. It's like get off your ass, go work out or something. Stop feeding like a pig. So it's always the same double standard. It's just another double standard. Exactly.
Exactly. Also, this comment is exactly what it is. This is a real fucking laundry list just for a date. Exactly.
Yeah, you see, and this is what I'm talking about. This guy should just be telling her to screw off. Look at that. Someone said, so true, Queen. Is that a woman or a guy who said that?
I think a guy.
It's a guy. Okay, so there's the suck up. There's the suck up.
I think I'm mutual with this person.
Yes.
His is just
Saint Mog. Someone just says LOL. I just told her to screw off, man. Little man, height and
I think
face.
this guy's a black pillar.
Yeah. The lookism, like I say, you may as well throw that in the trash. Like I said, Leonardo DiCaprio isn't particularly tall. He's got the face of a boy, but he's gained status, and the women, and he's gained weight. He's older now. He's still getting all the hotties. You know. Holy crap, that is a long list. Okay. See how they're treating her with kid gloves?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, this is exactly what I mean. Like, wonder how much of these things the average woman has. Like, average woman, like, a lot of people make it out like women are these, like, fully realized people or just, like, so superior to men and have, like, all of these qualities.
Yeah.
So they're justified demanding that. When in reality, the average woman is no better than the average man. Like,
oh no, I disagree with that. It should be far worse. If I want a boring conversation, I just I have to go on a date with a woman. That's it. It was boring, boring, boring. Yeah, you have to really struggle to find a woman who's worth it, who's worth talking to. Mhm. If you want
I
anything outside of the box or interesting to speak about, they just look at you like you have three heads. It's like, why are you talking to me about this? You know, you know.
Also, this last statement is completely true. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. Like,
Yeah.
for so many men, just putting all this effort just to attempt to date isn't worth it.
Well, you know something, you could take a lot of effort out and it would still wouldn't be worth it because all these guys want some woman who likes them for themselves. So this her list could be one item and it'd still be on it would still not work out. Like if that's the thing that these guys have to let go of. They said, look, this woman's giving you a list because she's not interested in you as a person, right? So she doesn't want to know you. So that's all you need to know.
I think this guy's a trad con.
Oh
Just,
yeah.
yep.
Well, look, once they say ran through Hull, like these guys don't really. So all this guy's really saying is the thing I dislike about the woman the most is the fact that another man has had sex with her. That's it. That's what pisses him off. Like, never mind that she's boring and vacuous and nasty and not capable of loving you. All the stuff that's really important, never mind. Just another man had sex with you. Now that's what I find unacceptable. You know. So Dr. Botero,
Exactly.
you're a loser. MD no less. And doesn't want to have kids and still expects you to pay for everything in a traditional role. Sounds like a great deal. So if this woman didn't have sex with a man and wanted to have kids, this guy would be happy with paying for everything and being one of these shitty traditional roles. Dr. Botero, you
Yeah.
are a loser.
And I just want to point out with the whole weird dichotomy with trad cons and wanting, like, quote unquote, pure virgin women, a lot of them will, like, there's this, I think the guy who runs the incel forum posted a tweet a long time ago. Well, he posted a screenshot of this. You've heard of Nick Fuentes, right?
No, go ahead. Say it.
So Nick Fuentes is this super right wing guy. I used to follow him. He's basically a track con, a major track con, right?
Yeah.
And the incel, like the guy who runs the incel forums, posted a screenshot of him saying, "Why can't I have a 16-year-old wife?" And the replies were all full of track cons talking about how, like, it, like, 16-year-old or just teenage girls in general are better than women just because they haven't had sex yet
Oh,
in
wow.
their lives.
Wow. Well, these guys are full of shit because I suspect most girls, even at 14, probably have had sex at least once. But none of it matters anyway, simply because when this woman, if one of these women who this guy, Dr. Botero, if some woman this who was ran through, as he say, showed interest in him, it'd be fine with him. He would say, "Oh, it doesn't matter how many men she had. She's no longer doing that. She's with me now," and he'd be fine with that.
Yep.
So I mean, that's I can just dismiss everything this guy's saying. Okay.
Like this whole list, like this whole list summarized can be basically put into like two main things. One, be high status, and two, like, just grovel to women,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
enslave
One of
yourself.
those two categories. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, this woman probably would be happier with a guy who told her to screw off and abused her. That's pretty. I see that most of the time. If I see a real asshole who's really like really does abuse this woman, the woman stays, and he gets women all the time. Oh my God.
I remember the video did about the Jewish woman who was with that neo-Nazi
Yeah,
guy
exactly.
for like years.
Yeah.
And I kept reading the article, and it went to the point where she was describing how she was literally like helping the guy recruit people in a way by like cooking for him
Well, but that wasn't the
before.
Jewish woman. That was the first woman they spoke about. She was a friend she knew. I know it's
I must have got confused.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, but at the same time, it doesn't matter if there was a different woman. It was still in the article, and yeah, she was all for it. She liked the guy. He had high enough status, so she was with him. She's social chameleon, right? All I can say is like you got to be out of your mind if you're a guy who becomes aware like us and still wants to date. It's like there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Oh my God.
Exactly.
Okay, Sylvia, I think we've went through the list. We made our points. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so do you have anything to say uh, before we go?
Just always keep this list in mind.
Yeah,
Like when or if you think about dating.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
always keep a lot of women will keep having these high standards for men. But on the flip side, if you ask anything back, you'll just be called out for it.
Yeah, exactly.
As that one comment says, the juice isn't worth the squeeze anymore.
Well, it never was, to be honest. It never was. Because like I said, I'm going to repeat it. Like all guys want the woman they're with to love them from themselves. They never get that. So it's never out. Oh, look, believer that we all have power to change incels and QAnon. Okay. This woman's a real troll. Thank you, Simeon. It's been a pleasure, man.
Thank you. Sitting here.
Okay, out we go.